Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Happy Saturday night to you. Thank you for being here. I'm your host, Joshua Diaz. Got a very special show for you today. That's right, a very special show for you today. It's called Lab and Friends. Now, for those of you who thought that I don't have friends, I don't. But it is the Sabbath and we must keep it holy. And for all things holy, we go to none other than Kyle, aka Five Sauce, aka Lukey Dookie, aka L Ring. What's going on, brother?
Nothing much, man.
Nice. You know what? Maybe you should have more energy. Nothing much, man. Let's just move on. We're going to move past your terrible intro and we're going to go to EP, the PD. We're not saying the other part anymore. And okay, hold on. All right, everybody just stop what you're doing. Stop. What was that?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
I drank some coffee. You said that I needed to get some more energy, so I took a sip of my coffee that I made.
What did you just drink out of?
It's known as a coffee cup.
No, it's not. It is not a coffee cup. I mean, it is a coffee cup, but it's not a coffee cup.
Just not.
Why do you
don't
have
like it?
that? It's not that I don't like it. Did you just milk your coffee cup?
Yeah.
I mean, really,
I'm sorry.
it's an udder cup.
Yeah, it's like,
don't you fill me up, udder cup, baby, just to let me down.
good remix. It's a good cup. You don't like the cup? I like it because it's big and it holds a lot of coffee.
Yeah, like a cow's udders. Holds a lot of milk, right?
Lots of milkies.
I've never. Where did you find something like that?
It's my roommates.
So
Not even my coffee cup.
So you had your choice of other cups, and that's the one you chose?
I think it's the best one in the house because it holds the most coffee.
No, the only reason you have it is because it has udders. That's why you like it.
Yeah, I mean, it attracted me instantly when I saw the udders. You don't like the udders?
And show producer, segment producer, the Shah of Iran, aka Pepe. What up, dude?
Hello.
How are you tonight, my friend?
Oh, you
my
know,
son, my firstborn.
going to work.
Daddy loveth thou.
You know, doing work.
Yeah, man.
Doing work.
That's
doing
good.
work in the back. You know.
You're doing great back in the control room. Just stay back there. Make sure the audio's good. I'm really confused though about the Where'd you get that? Seriously. So your
I don't know
roommate,
where it was purchased.
was there more in the cupboard than that?
Of those mugs, no, it's the only one. There's not like a set of udder.
No. Were there other coffee cups that you could have drank from?
Yeah, like 40.
Right. And you chose that one because you say, quote unquote, it's
like
big.
Oh, yeah, it's big.
Because I can see that. I can see it's big.
It is big.
But I also can see that it's supposed to emulate a cow's udder
Knockers.
milks.
Yeah. Cow knockers.
Right. Can you drink from that part?
No, but that would be cool. Like, that wouldn't make much sense to, like.
Can you milk it?
I mean, you could pretend to milk it.
Does anything come out?
No, nothing comes out. It's a cup.
Dry.
It's ceramic. It's like,
Hard.
can you stop? Put the cup down. You're distracting me and my audience. Why did you, of all the cups that you could have picked, you chose, and you knew that you'd get a reaction out of me.
No, I didn't know that. It wasn't like a thing I did on purpose at all. It was just
I don't believe
drink
that
out of that cup.
I don't believe that for a second.
Well, I drink out of that cup a lot.
It's so ridiculous, man. It is so ridiculous. For some reason, your background is blurry too. What's going on there?
Oh, let me try to fix that. Sorry. I don't know. Let's see what we can do here. Is it more clear?
I mean, it's clearer. Is that Don Wells' front porch?
Yes.
Why do you have that as a background?
I don't know. I thought it'd be funny.
It is. It's funny, but can you imagine having to actually live there?
And then a peek into his future.
From one house to the next. A peek into his future. Is that toilet paper up there?
Yeah, it is.
See, can you reach some of it?
Can I? Oh, I gotta go like the other way. It's hard to. I think I'm into the blurry background better.
I like the blurry background too. It's fitting. Yeah, somebody said from the little house to the big house.
Yeah. The conditions in like the big house seem better.
That jail is way nicer.
Way nicer.
That jail cell is way nicer than his house.
It actually had toilet paper.
Yeah, we did. That's true. We once watched him go to the bathroom live.
I saw that.
I remember it was.
You were live when it was live.
It was live when it was live, and it was horrendous.
Yeah.
Yeah, go back to Don's porch. I think people are liking the porch.
They like Don's porch? All right.
I don't think they like it, but
well, it's horribly sad, but it's really Don's porch. It's a real photo.
Let's see there. So there's some broken drywall. There's
it's like a construction vest.
There's a ladder back there. There. Now switch to the jail.
Okay.
From the small house to the big house.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, you're taking this any day over the last image, right?
I would rather live in that cell.
Even though the pillow is really close to that toilet, I think that could be a problem. I would sleep the other way, but other than that, not bad.
Can you imagine if we had to share that bad boy?
Oh God.
And prison food is not good, right? Let's just call it how it is.
Yeah.
Prison food's it's not good, but
better than this.
It is better. I'll take the prison cell. So what you're saying is that he's going to enjoy his new living conditions.
Well, I don't. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Why am I echoing?
Get on that.
I don't know. I'll fix it.
What do you say? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll fix it.
Is it fixed?
He's fixing it, baby.
Shaw?
I think it's fixed, baby.
All right, it's fixed.
There you go, brother.
I just recently, well, actually today, I read that in the Valley, the California Highway Patrol just busted somebody with like 300 pounds of fentanyl.
Jeez.
And like, I mean, it's just huge, like sacks of like fentanyl, almost like the udders on that.
Just tons.
Yeah. Brother, are we fixed, brother?
I think you're fixed, brother.
You're fixed. You getting feedback?
Is anybody else getting feedback, brother?
None.
I'm not getting any feedback.
All right, I'll try to finish the coffee as fast as I
hate
can.
that cup so much.
Sorry. I'll move to a new drink.
It's probably gonna. What's that?
It's the sparkling water.
Pour it into your udder glass.
No, there's coffee in there.
The problem with the udder glass is here's the problem with the udder glass.
Mm-hmm.
The milk of magnesia glass. Okay.
Yeah.
It disturbs me. It disturbs me that there were 40 other glasses for you to drink out of. Yet, for some unbelievable reason, you chose that one.
It's my favorite cup. Coffee cup.
But it's not your cup, though. That's the thing.
It's my favorite cup to use.
And it's not because of the size, it's because of the udders.
It's the whole thing, but the udders
exactly.
play a role.
So don't say, oh, I like it because it's big. Say, hey, Josh, I like it because it reminds me of a cow's udders. I like that.
Yeah, I do like that. You're telling me you wouldn't drink from that?
I mean, if I had to, I would. Yeah.
All right. When you come over, I'm making you.
I'm not going to drink out of the udder milk.
Well, I'll break all the other cups.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine going to somebody's house and all that's in there are just cups like that? Just that's it.
Everything.
The kids got to drink out of them. Everybody's got to drink out of them. You pass them out at Thanksgiving. Everybody's drinking out of.
Well, then I would say that would be a problem. But me enjoying a coffee, every day out of it isn't that big of a deal.
You drink out of it every day?
Not every day.
I feel like you're hanging out on Don Wells' porch. Drinking out of glass.
And it's sort of fitting that I have this coffee mug of all the mugs.
Yeah, no, it's fitting. It's fitting because that's what the thing you do that stuff.
Do what stuff?
Well,
hang out
first,
on porches?
No. Well, can you imagine? Seriously though, I like the jail one way better. Oh, come on, stop drinking now. You're just taking too many drinks. I'm
trying to finish it so we can move on from the.
Yeah. Chris is doing well. He will be back on the air tomorrow. And then after his show, we will have a follow-up show, little wrap-up show, little Sunday night, Sunday tight, Sunday right. I don't know. Now you're in prison.
You said you liked it better. What do the people like?
Well, somebody says, here, come on, Kyle, you drink from it every day.
Yeah. Well, I don't drink coffee at home every day.
Anna says utterly delicious.
My kind of gal.
I prefer the porch over the jail cell. Go back to the porch.
Okay. Give the people what they want.
I don't know if the people want that, but Amanda definitely does. It's just like sitting there. It's just like I look down and then I look up and you're back on Don Wells' porch.
I'm just waiting for Don to come out of that door shirtless and with a flare gun.
Get off my front porch. My favorite story still is when he said that he took TBI or that he went to Knoxville after pulling out $2,000 worth of cash from an ATM, which, by the way, isn't allowed. And somebody just said, oh, my God, that's Don's porch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Get off my porch.
And leave the mug.
And then he said he went and passed out $2,000 worth of crack in Knoxville in the streets.
Oh, what a nice guy.
Did you hear about that one?
No.
And he said that the FBI and TBI were following him while he was playing St. Cracula or Craculaclaus. He was passing out crack on the streets of Knoxville, Tennessee, he said.
What? Just to be a nice guy?
No, he said to prove that he didn't need money to sell his daughter, or didn't need to sell his daughter for money. So what he was going to do was he was going to prove that he had enough money. So he went and bought a bunch of crack and handed it out. That's his story.
That's one way to prove you don't need money.
It's I've never heard of anybody proving anything. Like, what does that prove other than, and by the way, if he bought $2,000 worth of crack, which I believe he did.
Crime. It's a crime.
Well, it's a crime, but he didn't pass it out. He smoked it.
Right.
Can you imagine somebody just going around on the streets of Knoxville, just passing out crack?
I can imagine Don doing that, but not passing it out, smoking crack with people.
You think he's just going to go smoke crack with people in Knoxville?
Lie detector.
No. Get off my porch, Lukey.
Yeah, leave the mug behind.
That's some good drywall you got back there, bro. I like the coffee cup a whole lot. It's not the first time I've ever seen udders. I'm a country boy. I've been.
I like the cup a lot less now.
Thank you. That was my goal the whole time.
Well, the coffee's gone, so.
Yeah, but you're still gonna fake drink out of it.
I'm not gonna fake drink out of it. I'm gonna fake drink out of it.
He's gonna fake drink out of it. There's a lot of laughing coming from the control room. Does anybody hear that? I know he smoked all that crack. I truly do. But dude, 300 pounds of fentanyl, the CHP, California Highway Patrol down in the valley, 300 of fentanyl. And it was like fake oxy.
Yeah.
Where they were passing it off as fake oxy. And I can guarantee you that these guys, whoever they are that got arrested for it, they're going to do like 4 years in prison. That's it.
That's it.
I can't, dude, the punishments for this kind of stuff are not very harsh. And I don't understand why, because fentanyl, you and I lost a friend last year to fentanyl.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people around the world in the United States, everywhere really, are really having it's a really bad crisis going on because people don't actually know that they're doing it. They're just think that they're doing something else, that they shouldn't be, but they don't think that it's fatal or whatever. And I think that people like that really should get the book thrown at them. Like 300 pounds of fentanyl is like, it should be a life sentence. Like, you're killing people.
Right.
That's what you're doing. That to me, that's like attempted murder.
I can't believe that 4 years for something like that seems
something like that. Usually, I mean, they don't get much time. I don't know why.
Yeah,
it's all about the non-violent. What's that?
It seems like that with like every crime now. It seems like
the non-violent crimes.
Yeah,
they're like, oh well, if you're a non-violent offender, you get bail. Even if you're a violent offender now, you get bail.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a case that I covered probably 3 or 4 months ago. A little 2-year-old girl went missing, and then they found her across state lines, and she had passed because she had been beaten. She was in a suitcase, which is a total normal. When I say it's not totally normal, it is indicative of people that do these kind of heinous crimes to use suitcases to try to conceal what they're doing. And they let the suspect, who was the one that transported this poor little girl across state lines, they gave him the option of bail, $75,000 bail, which he only had to come up with $7,500.
Right.
why would you ever let somebody out on that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think we have to. I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Yeah. So, and that's a violent crime.
It's the most disgusting crime you could be accused of. I guess the whole thing is just innocent until proven guilty. It's like,
right. But I mean, but they, even if it's just the innocent until proven guilty routine, there's people that they get held without bail who are still not proven guilty.
Right.
It's the severity of the crime that they're accused of. But it seems like more and more that these predators, they end up getting more rights than the victims themselves. I was just working on a video of a case from way back in '89, and it's an unsolved murder. And they jammed this DNA request up in the Court of Appeals. And they were saying, well, because, the guy that they were looking at was a convicted, Craigslist. I didn't know you could be a convicted Craigslist. He sold firewood that wasn't real. A Megan's Law, occupant before Megan's Law existed. And it's crazy because they wanted DNA from this guy, and they went to get they got a warrant. Well, the lawyer appealed it, and it sat in court for like a year and a half, and nobody ever ruled on it. And nothing ever happened. Well, finally they were able to test it, and it came back inconclusive. But who knows if that degraded the actual tests or the DNA results?
Oh, I'm sure, right? They're never as good. I mean, I guess you could test DNA for a long time, but you never know what happens with that stuff.
You can test DNA for a long time, but it does weaken as the time goes on. And even back then, the DNA wasn't that good. I mean, it was getting better.
Yeah.
And they have this new thing that they do where it's called the vacuum DNA, and it's fairly new. And so, who knows? And hopefully, some of these cases, because the main suspect of that case, and that I'm going to talk about, he's still alive. And it's just really a shame. But I've just noticed that victims are getting the short end of the stick these days, and the criminals are really just taking advantage of the situation. And I really struggle with that. And we're coming up on this whole circle of let's protect the criminals and blame victims. I really struggle with that. It's a very, very, very annoying. And that's why I told you that these people that are doing the fentanyl, they're not, like I said, they're not going to get in trouble. Like, they'll get in trouble, but not on that scale. The amount of people that they could have killed, it's like, I don't know. It doesn't seem right. No, there's not going to be enough time to make that seem like okay. No. And, the more and more that these cases come up, they start using, the judicial system is really made for people that have money. It just is. If you have a good lawyer, you have a better chance of getting off. Yeah. Not saying that that's a slam dunk, but it helps. Look at Robert Durst. I mean, how long was that guy able to stay out of prison?
My God.
And he had the best lawyers in the world.
And he got caught. He killed somebody, and he admitted to killing someone and served zero jail time for it.
Zero.
Chopped the body up.
Oh, well, he did serve time for chopping the body up, not the murder. because
but,
it is illegal to dismember a
right.
body.
But that's crazy that you could say I did X, Y, and Z, and he still like essentially walked.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he got what 3 years for
Dismemberment or
indecent
whatever.
disposal of a human body, and yeah,
There's,
wow.
you know, it's almost weird to say, like, when I heard that he died, I was almost a little bit sad because I was like, I think there's so much more to that guy. So many more like crimes that I just had hope that would come out after, he's in prison. I thought maybe he would, for attention or something.
Well, we have his DNA. We have his DNA.
Mm-hmm.
And that I've been working on a documentary that involves him.
Yeah.
And I knew that he was in poor health. I knew that he was running out of time. I'm glad he died a convicted murderer,
right,
in prison. But this does nothing to slow down the story that I believe, at least through circumstantial evidence, that we can at least paint a good picture of what happened to the girl, Karen Mitchell, that went missing in our hometown. Yeah. And as it went cold for 20 years or something like that, when I picked this up, I remember I was with you the day, and I turned and looked at you. I said, I am going to do a documentary on this. And from that moment on, that was my focus.
It was crazy how much you found. Yeah. In such a short amount of time, which makes me so sad. Is because like, did anyone ever like really try? Because like you put in what? I mean, not that you weren't putting in a lot of effort, but it was like, I mean, information was flowing in fairly easily.
It's
incredible stuff too. It wasn't just like.
Well, I am excited to share the results of everything that I've found, and I find it very troubling as well, looking at the case files. And I've talked to the local sheriff about this, and it was kind of they were on to Durst. Okay. He was a person of interest in this case. Mm-hmm. But I don't think they realized at the time how much of a person of interest Robert Durst actually was. The guy lived in our town, mm-hmm. Frequented places that this young lady went to. And then I find a guy, I'm not going to tell everything that I found because it's going to be, people are going to be blown away, especially, yeah. And maybe a lot of people don't know about Karen. It never received the national attention that other cases did, but Robert Durst himself did receive that attention. Everybody in the true crime world knows who Robert Durst is. He's a grade A freako, weirdo.
I mean, he's had a movie made about him, and he had that documentary is fantastic.
Yeah, the Jinx. The Jinx was good up until the end when they cut out a bunch of they're saying, oh, he confessed, but they didn't play all of it. Matter of fact, that wasn't even allowed in court.
Of course not. All that stuff. I mean, it was still, yeah, like you said, up until the end, it was great.
And I found an eyewitness who mm-hmm. helped Robert Durst write the letter.
Yeah,
that he sent to. Well, he says he didn't send it. We found out so much stuff so fast, mm-hmm. and when Robert Durst died, I knew that really didn't change anything. And no, Karen's body was never discovered. Unfortunately, I sat there and I looked at her picture every day in computer lab for I failed the class, so I took it 3 times. I'm kidding. I didn't fail it, but well, maybe I can't remember now. It was computer lab, and I, the aunt, her aunt was my teacher, and she had that up. On the wall, and I would sit there and I'd look at that every day. And I was like 14. That's when all of this really started for me. I was completely baffled that something like this happened. Matter of fact, hold on one second. I may have shared this before, but let me share. Bingo. All right. And so, we can kind of preface this because, we are making substantial headway on this case here. This is from March 17th of last year. And it's a local website. Like, it's a well-known website here in the county, from Mendocino to Humboldt, Northern California, mostly. But what it says here, the title of it, Nobody Vanishes into Thin Air. Local documentarian. That's me, Bubs. Peers into Durst days in the Emerald Triangle and the possible connection to Eureka cold case. And there's the picture of Mr. Durst. Look, and then there's a picture of me, and there's Karen, and there's Durst. Look.
That's the photo they chose
of me.
You look good. You look good. Did you send it to them, or they just like steal it?
They just took it because I would have gave them my headshot.
Yeah. Cute.
Thanks. Robert Durst, the eccentric and eldest son of Seymour. And what happens when you hear the word Seymour, Lucas? What comes into your mind?
Who's seen more butts than you, or no one's seen more butts than you, Uncle Tony?
Seymour. I love that name. Robert Durst, the eccentric eldest son of Seymour Durst, known for New York real estate riches, will be tried this July in a Los Angeles courtroom for allegedly murdering his longtime friend Susan Berman. Prosecutors claim Durst killed Berman because he feared she would divulge that she actively helped him cover up the fact that he murdered and disappeared his wife, Kathleen, in 1982. I mean, we're really dealing with a serial killer. That's what we're dealing with. Mm-hmm. That's what this guy is and was.
So his last court case was about his wife and the other lady, correct? It was both?
Yes.
Can't remember. Okay. So he's convicted of killing at least two people right now? I could be wrong. I can't remember.
I think it's just the one.
Just the one? Okay.
But, they've always been trying to link. They've always tried to link him to other stuff, and it's just really never happened. And the article goes on to say, as Durst's trial looms on the horizon, Josh Diaz, that's me, a Eureka-based documentarian and interviewer, has made it his mission to understand Durst's time in the Emerald Triangle and the potential connection between Durst and the 1997 disappearance of Eureka teen Karen Mitchell. Working to shed light on the case long gone cold, Diaz and this reporter will be interviewing friends and family of Mitchell, acquaintances of Durst, and digging deep to understand what happened to Karen and the foggy days of Durst. Eureka Police Department Captain Patrick O'Neill told us Karen Mitchell went missing on November 25th, 1997, after possibly getting into a car in the area of the Bayshore Mall. That's the local mall near us. And after she left her aunt's store located at the mall, so she gets into somebody's car I think, let's see, somebody just threw up the link there. Thank you for the supers. Anyway, so Eureka Police Department Captain Patrick O'Neill, Karen went missing November 25th, 1997, after possibly getting into a car in the area of the Bayshore Mall after she left her aunt's store located at the mall. I talked to the man that saw her get into a car, and he had no reason to make it up. He wasn't embellishing the story. He flat out said, I saw her because later on that day, there was a news alert about her going missing. And he's like, wow, I saw her. But he didn't know who she got into the car with. The Charlie Project says 16-year-old Karen Mitchell was walking on Eureka's Broadway Street when a witness reported seeing a young woman resembling Karen get into the blue vehicle with a 60 to 70-year-old Caucasian male, and she has not been seen since. Captain O'Neill explained that throughout the years, Eureka Police Department has collaborated with multiple agencies to solve Mitchell's case, including the State of California Department of Justice, the Humboldt County District Attorney's Office, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and the Federal Bureau of Investigations. The investigation into Mitchell's disappearance has included hundreds of interviews, database searches, locations search, and submissions of her DNA profile to a national database for comparison purposes. Though Durst's direct connection to Karen Mitchell's disappearance has never been substantiated, Captain Patrick O'Neill said Eureka police have investigated the situation over the years. And according to O'Neill, at the time, we have found no credible link between Mitchell's disappearance and Mr. Durst. However, until Karen is located, we cannot rule out any possibility. And some of the most concrete connections. Sorry, what were you going to say? Go ahead.
Me?
Were you saying something?
No, I didn't say anything.
Shaw, you there? You with me, Shaw? You hanging in?
I'm here.
It doesn't sound like it.
It does. Okay, so some of the most concrete connections between Mitchell's disappearance and Robert Durst are the resemblance between the composite sketch of the man last seen with Mitchell and rumors. Let's see, rumors that he had visited a soup kitchen in Eureka Mitchell volunteered at, also visited the shoe store Mitchell's aunt owned, and she worked at. Karen didn't live here with her parents. She lived here with her aunt. She was sent up from Los Angeles because of a troubled home. And her aunt and her uncle, who was also on the Eureka Police, who worked for the Eureka Police Department, I don't know if he investigated at the time.
Someone, I believe, asked in the comments for the link to the.
Yeah, I think somebody put it out there.
Okay.
Let me see here. Karen Van Swearingen. Oh, wait. Megan Renee, a friend of Karen Mitchell who attended Eureka High School with her, said that, and that's funny too, because we all went to the same high school together. She was just older than us, but she was just older than us, but like, that's what's so weird about this case, man. That's why it hits so close to home. Because it literally is home.
Yeah.
Megan Renee, a friend of Karen Mitchell who attended Eureka High School, said, since Mitchell's disappearance, I have always believed foul play was involved and never a runaway situation. Renee firmly believes Mitchell knew who she got into the car with and thought it was a safe decision. Karen Van Swearingen, a Eureka resident at the time of Karen's disappearance, told us she also experienced a man driving up to her in a blue car in Eureka trying to pick her up. She said it was the scariest experience I have ever had in Eureka. Now, when we're talking about this man's, he owned a blue car. He rented it. Josh, did you ever see All Good Things with Gosling? It was made years ago, but it was good. I did. Did you see that one, Lucas?
Of course. I love Ryan Gosling so much.
Okay. Come on. The worst part about that is you weren't even trying to be funny. It's just like you get carried away. You get like man crushes on, and you literally just said, I love Ryan Gosling so much.
Yeah.
Why? He's not that good of an actor.
Oh, come on. You're just being
Yeah,
mean
he
now.
Is he? I'm sorry.
Okay,
whatever. I don't want to get crucified for this, but like to say that you love him so much was kind of a bit overboard.
Maybe it was a lot, but I love him.
Do you stand by that? Do you stand by the love?
I love him.
He loves him. Okay, that's just not okay. She said it was the scariest. She said it was the scariest. That was actually one of the scariest things that's ever happened to me right now. You professing your love for Ryan Gosling in front of hundreds of people, and soon to be thousands. Congratulations. She remembered the man driving the blue car as small, having a raspy voice and weird-looking teeth.
Huh? Check.
Bing, bing, bing. The Journal put out an article a few years ago, or I definitely would have. Did I miss a whole line? Oh, here we go. Van Swergen said the reason she never reported the encounter is she was unfamiliar with Karen Mitchell case until the Journal put out an article a few years ago, or I definitely would have. When asked whether she thought the man in the vehicle was Robert Durst, Van Swergen said he had the same voice, same stature as the Durst guy. Josh Diaz, that's me.
It's you.
The Eureka-based filmmaker said he was 11 years old when Karen Mitchell went missing, and her disappearance shook him. It shook me. It did. It was scary, man. It was weird because that's all anybody was talking about. I'm sure you remember.
For years, yeah, I remember.
He said he could not believe someone like her had disappeared off the face of the earth. He vividly remembers missing person posters with photographs of her and sketches of the suspect hanging around town. And slowly, Mitchell's face and the story were burned into his head. And then down here's a.
I mean, come on.
So that's the composite of Robert. Well, Robert. Of the right. No, sorry, it's not of Robert. It's of the suspect. That's the composite. That's the vehicle description. And I mean, take a look at this.
I mean, come on.
When Diaz was 14 years old, he began attending Eureka High School. Most people start at 13.
Is that true?
I don't know.
No.
Grandma always said that kindergarten was too rough for me. When Diaz was 14 years old, he began attending high school where a teacher had hung Karen Mitchell's missing poster on her door. I would see it every day, Diaz said. He remembers catching whispers of Mitchell's fate. One friend told him she ran him away. Ultimately, Karen Mitchell's disappearance is wrapped in the gossamer and nostalgia, with Diaz remembering the late 90s as, quote, a different time. Diaz's background in producing documentaries is rooted in his childhood when he would stay up until the early morning listening to late night radio heavyweights like Art Bell and Don Imus. I said Howard Stern, but they left that one.
They're like, no thanks.
Following the radio through line into his adulthood, Diaz began producing a podcast with his friends 6 years ago. There, he explained, me and a couple of buddies would laugh and tell stories or jokes. This evolved into a solo podcast entitled No Big Deal that was comedy based, he has said. And I started to get burnt out on comedy. So we began to incorporate other interests, including true crime. Diaz's first significant foray into true crime was an in-depth analysis of the internationally known West Memphis 3 case. I don't recommend anybody start off with that one. That's a tough one. The 3 men who were convicted of the 1993 gruesome murders of the boys in West Memphis, Arkansas. After the trio's 1994 conviction, many considered the evidence used to convict them as unreliable, including celebrities and musicians such as Henry Rollins, Tom Waits, Ozzy Osbourne, who publicly advocated for the trio's innocence. Finally, 2011, the trio negotiated the Alfred B. Blah, blah, blah. I don't care about that.
Yeah, it's not real anyway. It's fake.
Diaz began to research the case and found himself skeptical of the trio's innocence. And he described the West Memphis 3 supporters accusing the murdered victims' parents of the crime. And that's tend to what happened. And I could not believe the supporters were tarnishing the reputation of the parents. That was my major problem with it. Diaz was thrust into the West Memphis 3 web sleuthing culture, positioning himself as a proponent of the trio's guilt. Diaz interviewed the father of one of the boys who was killed in 1993. He began corresponding with Gary Meese. Fans of this show know who Gary Meese is. He's great. A prominent author who writes about the West Memphis 3 and also believes in their guilt. Advocates for the trio's innocence often criticize Diaz for his belief in the West Memphis 3's guilt, sending him harsh emails daily. Still happens.
It still happens.
It happens every single day. Diaz's deep dive into the West Memphis 3 led him to new horizons in his interviews and podcasting. He interviewed Craig Scott, a student of Littleton, Colorado, Columbine, and you can see that on this page. Colorado's Columbine High School was in the library and positioned in between 2 victims of Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold. And it says right here, from left to right, police sketch of the person of interest in Karen Mitchell's disappearance. Karen Mitchell and Robert Durst. I mean, you really can look at that and go, yowza, right? I mean,
yeah, it's pretty good.
It's odd.
It's odd.
Diaz began to realize
it's not that odd because it's like
it's him. Diaz began to realize his mission and turned his sights to examining Karen Mitchell's disappearance, the missing person case that shook him so profoundly in his adolescence. At this time, he intends to dive deep into the local case. Diaz said, "My intent is genuine. I want to bring attention to this case. I have no grandiose thoughts that I'm going to solve this case." He hopes his coverage can spark someone's memory, he said. Somebody knows something, and nobody vanishes into thin air, just like Summer Wells. Diaz's research into Robert Durst and the connection to Mitchell's disappearance thus far has led him to consider the possibility that Durst could have been involved, saying, "I have some theories and suspicions, but the fact is I don't know, and I'm completely open." And that has changed, by the way, as this has gone on.
Yeah.
Diaz intends to gather information from the Eureka Police Department, interview friends and family of Karen Mitchell, and even friends of Robert Durst who knew him while he lived in Humboldt County. And when asked what his initial suspicions are regarding a connection between Robert Durst and the disappearance of Karen Mitchell, Josh Diaz simply said, "Where there's smoke, there's fire." And
there's a lot of smoke.
There's a lot of smoke, and there's got to be a lot of fire there. Man, it's crazy to think about, you know. And then, you know, the thing is that Karen was just like a little older than my sister, not like a ton. I mean, she was a couple years older. And I ended up connecting with a man who worked for Robert.
Mm-hmm.
And he here and he was from the university. And I found it amazing that what he said about the entire situation. And that will come out in the documentary. But, and I've also reported all of this to the police department, things that they never knew, which blows my mind. I get it. Like, they have huge caseloads. And over time, but the problem is over time, people's memories fade and we start to lose track. It's just really tough,
but some of these things were reported a long time ago, and they're credible because their story hasn't changed since the beginning, which is good. But it's hard to get new information and like new I guess eyewitness type stuff now. It would be hard.
When that when that article was published, that's when the information really started flowing in. And you have you do. The amount of crap that I had to dig through and that I had to read, and then I had to go, oh my God,
and then you have to you have to check, you have to look into everything. It's like,
Karen's aunt.
I was going to say what I found most surprising about all of it is sort of how the people that you thought would be in support.
Her mother, absolutely. Her birth mother was 110% against me doing this.
Yeah.
I tried to, and I spoke with her several times. She was into it. She was like, the FBI has her case, blah, blah, blah.
Right. The FBI.
And she immediately, when I pressed her, because she didn't see, look, I get it. And I want to be sensitive. And I was sensitive. She turned on me and said that she didn't appreciate what I was doing. And I was like, I was flabbergasted. I was shocked that she didn't want me involved in this.
Yeah, it was
and
weird.
I couldn't believe that of all these things that I had found, I was so excited to tell her. And she basically just said, I hope that she basically said, I hope that, you fail in what you're doing, this or that. I later go on to find out that this lady has had, major issues, and there was a reason that Karen wasn't living with her anymore. And I don't want to go into her personal business, but I was reaching out to the wrong people. Her aunt and uncle fully support me,
right,
and will be a part of what I'm doing. They were the ones that were in charge of Karen at the time. Now, the one thing, and I will give a teaser, I guess it's a teaser. I came up on some information. Robert Durst lived in Trinidad, which is about 20 minutes from Eureka. And her aunt told me that she wasn't sure why, but sometimes Karen would ride the bus out to Trinidad.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason to go to Trinidad other than
the beach.
You don't even do that. I mean, you can, but she would be gone for, a while.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just one minor connection that I found out. So it will be later this year. I'm hoping, when I started this, I was hoping to have it done last year. That didn't happen. But I'm still gathering information. And matter of fact, I have a interview coming up with his personal assistant at one point. We haven't even, him and I have talked several times, but we've never sat down on the record. I truly, yeah. Robert would he would dress as a woman too, by the way, but he would frequent the store that the mother owned, or that the aunt owned, that Karen worked at. He also frequented the soup kitchen. He hung out with homeless people. That was a thing that he did. He used to go under the bridge and smoke pot with the homeless people.
Yeah.
He liked to do that. But he would go to the soup kitchen where she volunteered at frequently. And so, they knew each other. And, also it had been all the time and stuff that I was spending, on the Mitchell case. I had to get back to work too. And start making money again. But at the same time, it was so important, and it's been so important to me that I've been able to even get this far with it. But yeah, that was kind of the brainchild of this. I remember that day just telling you, dude, I'm just going to do this. You remember? I mean, that was I remember your dad read the article and he wouldn't leave you alone about it.
Yeah.
He was obsessed.
He's
like a big fan of mine.
He still talks about it.
Does he? Does he ask how it's going and stuff?
Mm-hmm. I'm like, you're asking the wrong guy.
I remember he was bothering you all day, and you literally said, "You have his number. Why don't you just ask him?" He still asks you about it, huh?
Oh yeah. There's a lot of people that ask me about it.
Well, look, it hasn't gone away. It's just, there's just so much to it. I mean, and
there's there's a lot of curiosity in this town about that case. There always will be. I
got one shot at it.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure it's proper.
I don't think your time frame is fine. I think that there's so much. There's a lot of layers to the whole thing. It's not going to be. I think the difference is it felt like when me and you started doing the West Memphis 3 stuff, there's so much information about that stuff that it's pretty easy to, there's a lot of books, there's a lot of stuff online, it's pretty well documented. With something that's an unsolved, there's not a lot of information, it's going to take a long time.
Yeah, but like I said, I've made significant progress. There's just a few more, there's a few more interviews I have to do. And specifically, saying like this specifically, I am trying to chase down a person that I've been trying to chase down for about 6 months, and I'm going to get him. Oh, daddy gonna get him. Even if I have to park outside his meth lab, I'm going to get him.
Yeah.
I just have to find his meth lab first. I'm just kidding. I don't know if he has a meth lab, but
you're talking about the
Randy
car?
or whatever his name is.
Car?
Huh?
The car guy?
No, I already talked to him. I'm talking about one of Durst's buddies.
Okay.
That there's another article about it. Somebody else wrote I don't know. Hold on. What car guy?
The license plate, remember? Remember what I'm talking about?
Vaguely. What happened? Oh, yeah. Well, that's one of several loose ends.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
That was super interesting.
I agree with that 100%. Let me see. The author of. Okay, yeah, I found it. Sweet.
God.
What?
That voice.
Oh, the weird sweet voice.
Yeah.
You didn't like that?
Didn't not like it. It was
I liked it.
Oh, thanks. I forgot you were here.
so quiet.
Yeah, and this guy, Matt Birkbeck was the author of the book, the Durst book. I can't remember exactly what it was called. I've read it though. But he was the one that initially made the connection between Durst and Mitchell. And yeah, Randy Gomes is the man I'm looking for. If anybody knows Randy. Huh?
Yeah, Randy.
Yeah, here's the part he wrote about. It's really cute. Like they say I'm young, but I'm not like that young. But it says now
You're young.
Huh?
You're young.
Well, right here when it says now a young documentary producer from Eureka.
Well, do they mean that your age is young, or do they mean that you're young, like in the field of
how would I
making
know?
A documentary? I don't know. Just saying.
Now a young documentary producer from the Eureka area, Joshua Griffin Diaz. I mean, he used my whole name. Has been poking around on Mitchell, and he's been adding to the list of interesting circumstantial evidence, most notably an interview with a tech guy who helped Durst with his computer. He places a young woman who looked, quote, exactly like Mitchell inside of Durst's Trinidad home while he was working for him as a domestic. And that one rang all kinds of bells and whistles for me because Mitchell's aunt. And Mitchell's aunt told him the same thing, that she would also go out to Trinidad, where this computer tech guy claims to have seen somebody that looked exactly. Is that the Oval Office?
Sure is, brother.
Why?
I don't know. Why not?
Where was the other one? The other one I loved a lot.
The other one. I was tired of looking at freaking Don's disgusting porch.
So you went from that from the UFC octagon.
Yeah, big fights tonight, baby.
Are you watching?
No, I'm doing this.
This is better for you anyway.
I'm peeking. I'm glancing.
Let's see. Rita says, I've been watching and listening and I haven't been reading the chat. I've thoroughly enjoyed what you were talking about. He gave me the creeps. I honestly didn't think he'd make it through the trial. I was hoping that he would make it through the trial just so he could be convicted. And it says, wait a minute. Did you say the aunt would go to Trinidad to do something? No. What I said was the aunt said that Karen would go to Trinidad, but she wasn't sure why she was going there. And there's a computer tech guy that worked for her or for Durst that has some interesting things to say about that situation. It's kind of my I look, people want to know, but there's so much to it, man. And I like I said, how's the fur baby, Josh? He's He's fantastically.
I'm doing great.
Where's your cup? And why are you back at Don's house?
I don't know. People liked it.
I'd like to go to Trinidad, but the country. Yeah, Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, that's a totally different place.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
You wouldn't want to go there either.
Trinidad's pretty.
No, Trinidad's nice. Trinidad and Tobago's, you know. When the first time I ever heard of that place was when the Mighty Ducks had to play them in the Junior Olympic Games, and they won 9-0.
The Mighty Ducks.
Dude, my whole life is based around the Mighty Ducks, and I've never played hockey a day in my life. I don't even like hockey.
Dude, I've done 2 shows with you on the lab, and we've said the Mighty Ducks in each of them.
Yeah. Well, be prepared.
We
Because whenever we would do the podcast, all you would ever bring up was Power Rangers.
No, come on.
Ernest.
Okay, Ernest. Yeah, I did.
We did a whole episode on Ernest.
Yeah.
Because you would go and rent the movies from a local library.
When I was in Alaska.
Who cares if you were on the Sun?
Yeah. They're good movies.
Were they DVDs?
Oh, yeah.
And this was like a year ago, right?
Yeah. That's probably the last time I watched Ernest. I think I
watched
watched
all the Ernest videos.
It was like a set of 3. Ernest Goes to Africa, Ernest Goes to Jail, and Ernest Saves Christmas. Which is like, that's all you need. Those are the best ones.
And you drove to a mobile trailer library.
I didn't drive. I mean, I did drive to it, but you made it sound like it was like a far drive. It's like two minutes down the road. There's one dirt road.
There's a dirt road that leads to a mobile library.
Yeah, yeah, and 3 bars and a grocery store, and that's it. But yeah, I watched a lot of Ernest.
Ernest.
You didn't like those when you were a kid?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't. You didn't
What
like
about
those when
Power
you were a
Rangers?
kid. You're not a kid.
Yeah, but still, like,
It's nostalgia.
yeah.
I watched. I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know. Sucks. I didn't like them. I thought they were poorly produced.
Ernest or the Power Rangers?
Both. Those were your 2 favorite shows?
No, I don't know. My favorite shows as a kid? That's tough.
Where's your coffee cup at?
It's right here, baby. Can you see it?
I can't see it with all that huge trash pile.
Yeah, it's just blending in with the trash.
Is that like a metal pole?
I don't know
holding
what's
up
going on. I really don't know what's going on in Don's world.
It's sad, isn't it? KP Baz 25. Thank you for the super sticker. Can somebody just said 13-10 49ers pulled it off? Is that true?
You want me to confirm?
Please do.
They did. They pulled it off.
They won.
It says right here.
Is it final?
Niners return block punt for touchdown to score. Yeah, final 13-10.
Wow. I thought they had no chance.
They were down 3-10 with like 5 minutes to go or something, I believe. I don't know. It's close. Yeah.
Wow. They blocked the field goal.
Oh, to tie the game at 10, and then they went down and scored again. I scored a field goal.
How come Guy on bottom keeps giggling. Guy on bottom is our sound engineer.
Guy on bottom.
I can move him.
I like guy on bottom. Bye. Oh, I'm guy on bottom.
No, you're the guy on bottom.
Yeah, what guy are you talking about now?
Yeah.
It looks like it looks like where you're at, it smells like pee.
Oh, for sure. And human and cat.
And dog.
Yeah, and you could smell all three.
Ernest equals Ernie Shell saves Christmas. Ernie Shell goes to jail. Oh, yeah, sorry, Ernest makes and Ernie, and he's been doing the rounds of the YouTube streets lately. I saw heck of
I saw too. That was disturbing. That was my first peek into that. The things that you exposed me to.
Whoa. You gotta really curtail the things that you say the way that you say them.
You exposed me to a lot of things.
Doing dishes and laughing my ass off. Hey, Lucas, pass your udder cup over and see if Susan can hammer that one out for you.
Yeah, can you get me, Susan? Where are we going? There we go.
You gotta pull it back like you're gonna take
you
it.
You gotta really wash these. Really good. I like to go like this.
What? Sorry, Susan. She said no problem. She's got it. She's gonna hook it up, brother.
They look good and they're all soapy.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm so far removed from that stuff now. I could. There's nothing to understand. It is what it is. You see what you see. There's nothing to understand. Every time I hear him, he's saying that he's been hanging out with senators all day trying to get bills passed.
Someone's got to do it.
Look, if that's really what he's doing, congratulations. I just don't think that that's really what he's doing.
No.
If you were to go to a politician, never. It doesn't matter. I don't even want to talk about him because it's stupid. Yes, is Lucas who stood you up for ribs. Thank you for bringing that up.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so we've been having major problems. And right now we're isolated. We have to be.
We're isolated, baby.
We're isolated because, possible vids on the horizon. We don't know. But before that, I had made dinner and I wanted you to come over and hang out.
Yeah.
And you didn't. And we talked about it on the show yesterday just for a minute. But you are the guy who stood me up. You're also the guy that locked the taco truck worker in the store.
Have you talked about that?
Many times.
Yeah.
And
I did do that.
You're also the guy. But you stood me up and I made you a plate and everything and set a fork and knife for you with a little napkin. And on that napkin, I even folded a little and said Lukey on it. Yeah, I did.
That's too far.
Those little nameplates like at the White House that Ernie Shell gets that he sits at when the politicians invite him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you set your place, right? It said Kyle 5 sauce right on it.
Right.
And it had the little gold engraving.
Right.
And K-Baz, you're the best for bringing this up because I almost let it slip. But what happened was I invited you. This is true too. I bought an extra rack of ribs because of you.
What? And you thought I'd eat a whole rack?
No, I just wanted to make sure that my friend was. I just wanted to make sure that my friends were taken care of.
Yeah, that's nice of you. You're always nice like that.
Yeah. And Shaw, you had some of the ribs, yeah?
Yeah.
How were they?
Hey, we're good.
They're always good. I know they're always good.
Didn't have too many though.
I apologize. That was my bad. But you know what? I think it was the universe protecting me.
No. We weren't exposed until like yesterday.
Okay.
It wasn't the universe protecting you. Somebody said, "Oh my God, the ribs again." Yeah, the ribs again. And they're wet.
Wet.
Waffle fries. I don't know. I like waffle fries.
I do like waffle fries. I haven't had fries in a long time.
Go easy on the guilt trip. Why would I go easy on the guilt trip? I should go hard on the guilt trip. Because the fact of the matter is that this was invite only, and I chose you to come and hang out with my family. What's that?
I said first mistake. He chose me.
So what do I do? What do I do to get you to show up to a dinner? Tell me that. What do I have to do?
You did all the correct. You did everything correct.
Yeah, I cooked. I invited you and cooked, and then you confirmed. So I did do everything, right?
Yeah. I don't have a good excuse. I just forgot. I had a rough day at work, and it was just, I went home and had a nice bath, and before I knew it, I got a text from you saying that I missed the ribs. No, all you said was dude. And I knew what you were talking about because it all came back.
Yeah, it definitely it hurt my feelings. Because you weren't doing anything.
No, I was in the bath. After work.
You took a bath.
Yeah, I lit a candle, dropped a bath bomb. Relaxed.
Somebody said you're a bath person too. Yeah, and he drinks out of his udder cup while he's in the bath.
A bath person? What is that supposed to mean? Like it's a bad
It means that it means that you're 4 years old.
No.
I've like
plenty of women that still bathe.
Plenty of who?
Women.
Right. Okay.
All right.
What are you insinuating?
I don't know any guys that do other than me.
No, I do.
You use a bath bomb too and everything?
No. I know a guy who takes baths.
Yeah, me.
That's it. Why do you keep looking at the trash behind you?
There's something moving in it. I think it's a rat.
I love bath bombs. Yeah, woman. Is udder like Yeti? No, it's not a Yeti. I give that excuse. I thought baths were like sissy boys. He uses a bath bomb.
Whatever, dude. Sissy boys. Can't be the only guy that enjoys a nice bath.
Well, you'd be the only one that admits it, that's for sure.
Oh, whatever.
Josh, bath bombs will give you a yeast infection.
I don't have one. I'm yeast free. What about the natural ones?
Oh God, I got to get that off the screen.
Oh God, she confirmed.
Who confirmed?
I plead the fifth.
You got to get yeast free. Are you do you So not only are you taking baths, but you're possibly giving yourself an infection while you're doing it.
I think I'm all right. It doesn't burn when I pee or anything.
Okay. It doesn't burn when I pee or anything. What is that? I don't want to talk
I think
about
that's like number one sign of a yeaster.
Let me send you a bath bomb, Josh. I don't even have a bath. It's 2 showers because
You
I'm
can come over, get it on mine.
dude. Once like this is
That's
just
how you get a yeast infection. Sharon,
have you ever got your back like suction cupped to the bottom?
Of course.
That I never took a bath after that happened.
That's what happens when the water drains a little bit and you're.
I tried to get up and I was sucked to
You were stuck.
Yeah.
You got sucked.
Yeah, I was nervous. The bath sucked me and made me nervous.
Yeah.
Has that ever happened to you?
It's happened. I mean,
Did
not to where I was nervous. It just made like a farting noise.
Yeah.
I wasn't scared or anything.
A yeaster. I can always count on you to say something that I've never heard before. Like last time you were on, you brought up pickle skins.
Oh yeah. Well, I didn't know if did I bring that up. Someone asked if I put pickles on the sandwich, and I said, like, not if I'm making it at home.
Yeah, then you said no, the outside of it keeps it crispy, and I said the outside of it. You're like, yeah, the pickle skin.
Right. Oh, I didn't know what it was.
It's a rind.
Well, yeah. You didn't know either.
I do now.
And I do now.
But I would have never said
that. But I would rather say pickle skin.
I would have never said that it was pickle skin. I would have never said that.
Yeah.
Somebody said, oh, he's the pickle skin guy. He's the pickle skin guy. Yeah, or a hickle. Remember the hot pickle, the hickle?
Yeah, hot pickles are delicious.
When you take a bath, do you ever put like a wash rag over your face?
Dude, many of times.
Dude, many a times.
Yeah.
Dad bods do get suctioned to the tub at times. I didn't even have a dad bod back then. I was just a young man, like pinned to the bottom of the bathtub floor.
Just pinned.
I was, dude. It was bad. I was really scared.
I mean, I don't know, man. I was never scared. I usually laugh when it happens.
How does it like? I can't even remember how I got up. It hurt though.
Oh no!
Like I went.
Yeah, it did that.
Yeah, I did that.
Come take a bath.
Well, this show's over. Thanks everybody for being here. Lucas for the Udder Cup. That was always fun. Happy Saturday night. Come take a bath.
Just don't get a yeaster.
I don't even know what to say. A yeaster. Josh was on his tummy. No, I wasn't on my tummy.
Taking a tummy bath?
Arkansas says, why were you in the tub after the water drained out?
After what?
After the water drained out.
Sometimes you lose a little water level.
Thank you for the super chats and the super stickers, the likes, the comments. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this.
I gotta get off this porch. I hear Dawn coming.
Oh, goodness gracious. Brother. Unreal. Great show. Great show. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Happy Sabbath. Lucas, clean your front yard.
Yeah.
On behalf of everybody here at the lab, thank you guys. Shaw, L-Ring. Thanks for being here, guys.
Love you.
Love you.